so you know.
No,
There- Okay.
no.
Now we're live.
Pretty catchy.
It is. Even when I can't hear it, it's catchy.
Is it? Even when you don't know it's there, it's catchy. Oh. So I love visiting with you every day. Um, you're so into what I'm doing, and I appreciate that because you always pray for me and you always visit with me about what's going on, and um,
I
uh,
appreciate you too.
God has really given us a really neat relationship, and
Yes, yes.
I super duper appreciate that.
With an S, a super duper. See?
Super duper. So let's talk about being fat, girlfriend.
Hey, I've been there for a long time, so let's talk about it.
So I
Story
am
of my life.
story of my life. Oh, by the way, all my sympathies for you Boomer Sooner fans. Sorry,
Yeah,
it was a rough weekend.
we're still in mourning.
You're still in mourning.
We're still in mourning.
Dum dum da dum dum da dum da dum da dum. I get it.
We want to fire some referees. That's what we want to do.
Oh no, you're as bad as us Chiefs fans. We're always blaming the ref. It's always the ref's fault.
Yeah, well, you know, somebody's paying somebody.
Somebody's paying somebody. Okay. So let's talk about this being fat thing. First of all, how long have you struggled with weight?
Um, my entire life.
Were you
Uh,
a fat child?
I was a thick child, and then into like puberty, you know, I started gaining weight.
Mhm.
Got some great tips from a lot of friends, and in high school, I weighed 103 pounds. Like
Yeah.
I looked amazing.
Yeah. I weighed
Uh,
114 and I thought I was fat.
well, I weighed 103, and I was hot. I mean, like I knew it, you know. And
She
maybe
said
that was
she humbly submits today that man, she was
yeah.
hot.
But um, and I maintained that, you know, like 120, 130 for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant 34 years ago. And that's when my entire life changed.
Yeah.
And I believe that it affected my lymphatic system and my liver. And so I think I've been battling those two things for a while. And so, yeah, so probably 35 years, I've had a steady, at least 180 pounds.
And it's been and so for that time you've been trying to lose it. Like
Yeah.
it's been one thing after another.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a very similar story. I did not start. I mean, I actually, when I got started gaining weight, I mean, I had some pudgy years when I was like 10, 11, 12.
Mhm.
And then when I was a sophomore in high school, I started lifting weights. And that really toned things up. And so by the time I was a junior, the last part of my sophomore year, I was strong enough. I tried out for cheerleader, and I was a cheerleader up until my second year of college.
Nice.
So that kept me physically in pretty
Yeah.
good shape, right?
Yeah.
So, but then I got married, and I was happy. So what is it about being happy that makes us eat? I don't understand that at
Well,
all.
and
It does seem to be common.
it doesn't, you know, and I think another problem is both of us were in the Slim Fast
Oh,
and
yeah. Doing all the hard
Dexatrim
things, the
and
wrong things. Yeah.
Tab, like the new
Yes.
drink Tab. Oh, it's
Yes.
delicious. I
Yeah.
think that's when my metabolism was executed. Like and it's
I do too.
died. And
I'll
I
be honest with you. There were some high school years where I was doing a lot of drugs and stuff, and I have a feeling that all that speed probably ruined my
yeah,
metabolism.
yeah,
And
it killed it.
wasn't good for my heart either. So,
No.
um, so is it more important? So now that we're older, because you and I are now dancing around
60.
60. We're dancing around 60.
Well, I'm
So
60. Yeah.
I'm 60. I'm 60, and I think I'm just a few months older than you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't I don't think about how I look as much. Now, I am the fat mom at all of the events at school. I am the fat mom at all of the, that has trouble crawling up the bleachers. But I'm
Right.
60. I have, I've got physical impairments now, and so, but I mean, I'm not in a lot of pain or anything like that. Like I can remember a lot of my friends when they were 60 being in a lot of pain. So I do know that about 20 years ago, I started to get serious about addressing how I felt more than what I weighed.
Right.
Um, and it's because a lot of people just assume that because I'm big, I'm probably not very healthy. But the truth of the matter is, at 60 years of age, I'm on no medications.
No.
My blood pressure is being addressed with supplements and diet. My cholesterol, all of that's addressed with diet and supplementation. I do not utilize any. I don't have to. I haven't been put on any drugs. I have had some blood sugar problems in the last year, and so I want to talk to you about that today because that does connect. When we have an insulin, what they call hyperinsulinemia, we do retain fat. We retain body fat. And
Right.
so what are the things that you are doing? I know we can talk about the R3 weight loss program because I know we've both done that. And I think the simplest part for me about that is, there's a list of things that are good for me and a list of things that aren't. If I just stay away from the things that aren't for me, I can tell. I'm going to
Right.
feel better. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose inches. And those are the things that are important. And you're usually, what has been your experience with that program? Because I know we've both done it.
The one thing that R3 has taught me and given me control over my mental health
Mhm,
is like you said, the yes and no list. I
mm,
know I can have stuff off the yes list, and I don't have to count calories, and I don't have to weigh food. I don't have to
mhm,
do all those things.
mhm.
So I'm making choices. I'm not cheating. I'm making choices. But
Right.
anytime we're making a choice, we're also, especially at our age, making a compromise. If I eat high sugar, high carb, I'm going to be hurting.
Yeah.
My joints are
Yeah.
going to start showing that inflammation. So,
Yeah. Yeah. We do. And a lot of people don't realize that sugar has that kind of impact on inflammation, especially when you're older. You
yeah,
can really
chips.
tell, right?
Oh yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
just empty carbohydrates, any kind of sugars,
Empty.
any kind of empty
Mhm.
carbohydrates. I
Yep,
get that. So one of the things that a lot of people are talking about is this berberine supplement.
yep.
Now, what my understanding is about that is it prevents the body from releasing insulin, um, or over releasing insulin. So it acts like these Ozempic type blockers, these things that
Right.
people are doing by needle.
It stops those spikes.
Yes, right.
Yes.
So I know you and I both found a supplement, what I'd call a supplement, a shake replacement that also focuses on your glucose. And a lot of people were having success just before we ever had a berberine
Yep.
supplement. They were able to focus on just drinking that shake once a day, and it was lowering their A1C without having to. Yeah. Oh, I have cinnamon roll too. I put it in my coffee. What do you do with yours?
I put it in my coffee, just like you do,
Yeah.
with with butter
So I get some every day. I mean, I'm
every
getting
day.
that glucose control
Yep.
shake every day. But the other thing I like about it's got just a little bit of protein in it. So I start my day with just a little bit of protein in my
10
coffee 'cause
grams.
yeah, so I'm not a big, make a big breakfast kind of person. I usually wait till mid-morning to do a breakfast of some sort.
Mhm.
But I do need that little bit of protein when you start the day, and I like that glucose control will not spike your insulin. It really does control your glucose. And I've also been giving it to my sister-in-law, and I think that that's been part and parcel to her, plus the diabetic diet. We're just doing a lot of R3, keeping on the yes list, not the no list
Right.
stuff, which and she's learning that herself. I mean, she's learning that when we go out to eat, it's better to have a grilled thing than a breaded thing, or it's better to have something without bread or
Right.
a bun, or
And
and
that's a
have a
choice.
salad. Right. Yeah,
And
and
that's
it's
a
a choice.
choice.
And what
Yeah.
we do then is, on the weekend, she can do what she wants. She doesn't have to think about it so much. But during the week, if we go out or if we're eating at home, whatever it is, she'll say, I probably shouldn't have that, right? And she knows. And Brenda is special needs. I mean, she really emotionally is about 9 or 10 years of age, but physically she's 60. She can be
Right.
63 this week.
Right.
But even she knows, yes, list is good, no list is bad, and she's figured that out. And she does like the GC shakes. The other thing I do with this GC is she was missing things like waffles and pancakes, and so we use a waffle iron, cheese, a couple of eggs, and a little bit of water with our GC control, and we can use the chocolate or the vanilla or the cinnamon roll or the caramel creme brulee. We've used them all,
Right.
and we can make waffles out of those, and they don't have to be sweetened with anything. We just butter them. They don't have to have a syrup because they've already got what feels like a sweetener in the
In
GC
it.
control. So I
Yeah.
do love so I do love that. So I've been running
Another
that.
thing that I love about the R3 program is the weighing every 2 weeks,
Mm.
because that helps you have a boundary. So you can so I've been able to maintain where I'm at. I just have to really push
So
to get this weight off.
so tell me what's most important. Is it most important that we look good, or is it more important that we feel good?
I think it is to feel good. I feel better now than I did in my 30s.
I do too, and I feel better, and I feel better than like I said, I think a lot of people think I feel because they assume because I'm big that I
Yeah.
probably don't feel very good. But the truth of the
No.
matter is, between the probiotics I take and the GC glucose control stuff that I'm doing and all of that, and taking my supplements, I think that
Mhm.
that makes a huge difference. And I know that I might not be losing a lot of weight. I'm not gaining any weight, and I'm not
Right.
being near as careful as I should be. But when I do follow the yes no list from the R3 plan, I do notice, and it's not legalistic. I can. It's not like it means I can't ever have an ice cream cone or something.
Right. You're
I
making a
just
choice.
you're making a choice, and you're going to have to, and you have to decide to be okay with that. So I think that we're on the right track when we focus on how we feel, and that the weight loss kind of becomes a side effect of the fact that we've got more energy, and
Right.
we do feel like doing more, and we're not in pain, and all of that. So I agree. I think that it's more important to focus on how we feel, but we have to do something. Don't you find that the frustrating part for me is that there are some times when I'm doing nothing, and man, can I tell. It makes a difference
Yeah.
in my thinking, it makes a difference in my emotional behavior, it makes a difference in my energy if I'm not trying to do anything. And I think to myself, "Oh, I wish this or I wish that." That's real. I mean, I'm not exactly sure that there's anything more contradictory than this idea that, "Oh, I want to be thin, but I want to do it without having to work at all for it." Or I want to
Right.
feel better, but I don't want to do anything that means I have to work for it.
Well, and when
Um,
you feel better internally, you can do more externally.
right.
And if you're not trying externally, it's like, I mean, you're just not going to move as well. I mean,
Right.
I've been exercising faithfully since April 15th,
Yeah, yeah,
and I can get up and down off the floor easily.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
could not do that in April.
right.
I struggled. So
Yeah,
it helped.
yesterday I went out and I cleaned these big windows on one of the buildings that our company cleans for. It was a holiday, so they were closed. So I was cleaning these big windows with this big long pole and all of that stuff. And I cleaned the building and I mopped the floor. And I think the floor is like, 6,000 square feet or something like
Yeah,
that. But these are things that physically I'm not sure I could have done even in my 40s, 30s and 40s.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
so I do know that, you gotta do something instead of, not doing anything, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so we're at 14 minutes. Our 10-minute topic went a little bit over. Thanks for being here, Susan. I really appreciate your help.
Yeah.
And, so I'm gonna go ahead and give a plug while I'm here for the christiandramaqueen.com website
My
and let
favorite
people
podcast.
let people know that the Discarded Daughter, Diary of a Discarded Daughter podcast is available. All you have to do is search for me on just about any podcast platform, and I'll probably be there. So I don't know how, and I know there's a way to do this. Like you can go and look and see what your numbers are on all of these websites. I really don't do that. I don't spend a lot of time doing that, but I do appreciate those people that share me when they can, right?
And I
So.
do. I do share you.
I know you do. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah. Bye.